Okay. Welcome everyone to another no LTS tournament match. We got, I believe, this is either the first or second match for this group. We have Mikell versus Carnate. And Mike is a fairly long-time runner. Definitely one of the top runners of this game, I'd say. He's got some really good times all around, and specifically for no LTS, he's got a 55-23 going up against Carnate, who's definitely a less experienced runner. He started, I believe, within a year of now, and he already got a sub-1, so he's not looking too bad himself. Anything to add, Flu? Okay. So, let me just check when they're going to start. Okay.
Oh, my mic was muted. Professional stream. Whoops.
Oh, I was wondering where you were, Flu.
Sorry. Like I said, this should be a pretty even match. Probably won't see some separation until after Hub 1, hopefully. Don't roll jump into the waterfall forehead.
Were you saying that?
Commentators curse.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, they both have pretty respectful PBs, so Carnate not being in the I don't think he's been in the community that long, but he has a sub-1, so
Oh yeah, for sure.
sub-1's
Also,
definitely. Well, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, since we're waiting on the runners to start real quick, we got some time. Quick shout out to our sponsor, UAP, Urban Arts Partnerships Program. The School of Interactive Arts is a multi-year college prep program which teaches students both the arts and technology of video game development, preparing them for degrees and careers in tech and gaming industries. So pretty cool for them sponsoring this tournament. I think they're doing some great stuff.
As you can see in the top right, you can predict with channel points. 1 for Mike and 2 for Carnate. Looks like Mike is a heavy favorite so far with channel points, 17,000 to Carnate's 0.
No one for Carnate. No one's gonna win any points.
Looks like we're having some stream delay here. Oh. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we were just informed that they're having some issues with the starting, so they gotta restart. They sync up real quick.
So bear with us a few seconds to a minute, please.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much Carnate and Mike have practiced, like, relative to each other, but I can see this being a pretty good match.
One can only hope, really. But yeah, I'm with you on that one. This should be a pretty well-contested match.
If Mike plays out of his mind, though, this might be one-sided. Who knows?
Yeah, I know Mike has been practicing quite a bit, I'm pretty sure, and so has Carnate, so we'll just have to see.
Yeah, you love to see the practice.
You do, absolutely. Should be starting shortly, in the next 15 or so seconds.
Alright, looks like we're starting.
Interested to see if Mike does the little No, he's definitely not. There's no point in doing that.
Oh yeah, Captain Mike. I never expected Mike to do that. He seems to avidly dislike the geyser cell deload. But we'll get a much close. We'll probably get a much closer geyser then, since they're neither of them are going for the cell deload. Geyser's pretty simple, just the tutorial level. You get 4 cells and get out.
Definitely a reset heavy level. You bonk and you reset. That's just how it is. But you can't do that here, obviously. So
You just don't fall in the waterfall.
yeah, man. Commentators curse. Oh no.
Nah, neither of them will do that. I'm sure of it.
So Mike is already on world record pace, as you can tell. Except not really.
Yeah, world record pace team.
Okay, so Mike didn't fall in the waterfall. Neither did Carnate, but
Oh,
that was
yeah.
kind of sketchy.
I told you it'd be fine.
Mike holding a couple second lead over Carnate. Oh, Carnate got stuck in the tree.
Yeah, Mike's definitely got a few seconds lead over Carnate. Carnate kind of ground pounded in the wrong area, just stuck in the tree. But also, as to be expected, Mike's geyser movement is as clean as ever.
Yeah, he's definitely got the cleanest geyser out of. Well, I wouldn't say some of the cleaner out of the top runners.
He definitely has some of the cleanest movement.
You usually can tell who resets geyser a lot when their geyser is really good.
Yeah, any Mikell onesers.
Mikell one.
Now, all of you, get out of here!
Of course, this is one of the longer cutscenes in the game, so very convenient to put it right here.
Yeah, there's not too many long cutscenes. Yeah, it's probably like I said, is like the longest one you watch in the category, right?
That's what I was gonna say, but yeah, I think it definitely. I don't know. It's definitely
like
one of the longer ones. Yeah, it's the longest one, I'd say.
Yeah. Be interested to. I'll definitely take note of what time they reach fishermen, what time they end fish, just to compare their fish.
So far, we're not seeing any early game jitters from Mike, but Carnate's got. I feel like he's a little bit jittery right now.
Yeah, I definitely sense some shakiness from Carnate, but Mike is just zooming on through.
To answer the comment in chat about the day-night cycle, yes, this game does in fact have a day-night cycle.
I actually forgot to do the one thing I said I'd do, which was to look at the times they entered fish.
Wow, professional stream.
It's like 10 seconds.
There are 2 types of good fish to catch. 1-pound fishies and 5-pound.
Yeah, so coming up, we got Fish Game. They're both starting right now. It's basically just the RNG portion of the run. So like 90% of the RNG of this run just condensed into this 1 mini game. And it's pretty much based on how many goldfish and eels you get. Like the number of fish in each phase is pretty much the same each time, but each fish can possibly be an eel, a green fish, or a yellow fish. You just want to see yellows all around, no eels.
I'm interested to see if anyone in this tournament will finish in eels. That's definitely a huge time save.
That's definitely a rare sight. Finish in eels in like no LTS. Definitely don't see too often.
Yeah, you'll see it more in the 100% categories.
And the difference between that and the difference between finishing eels and like an average fish is probably around like 20 seconds at least, I'd say. It definitely generates some huge time save or time loss.
Both of them having pretty good, I'd say, I think Mike finished with 81, third phase, which is not bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty...
I'm looking the fact that Carnate has more fish than Mike right now, and Mike's got here like 10 seconds faster. Just shows how much better Carnate's fish was.
Yeah, I think Carnate's definitely going to finish ahead here. He's just having pretty decent easy eel phase so far.
Oh yeah.
Mike on the other hand only getting like 10.
Oh wow. They're really close now. This is crazy.
Amazing what fish can do.
Yeah, Mike entered like at least 10 seconds ahead. Now he's like a second behind. That's crazy.
And you can use my boat at the village dock whenever you like.
Now we got FJ. FJ's a lot of tight movement, small time saves throughout. It's gotta get your water roll jumps, your water hops, and just not get hit by enemies, and you'll be good.
Mike's showing a little bit of jitteriness with that scout fly there.
Yeah, Mike's having some problems. So Carney's taking the lead by at least a few seconds.
Hit 3
Also-
or 4, I'd say.
Also, to note that the eco clusters they got by the launch pad below, if they have clean enough movement and carry the eco for this next part that they're doing right now up the machine with the eco beam, if they carry this eco with fast enough movement, they can manipulate the eco to hone in on them when they come back through this tunnel later on.
And I don't
So
think Mike got the eco manip, but Carnate definitely did.
Carnate didn't.
Oh wow, really? That's interesting. They both didn't get it.
Yeah.
Carnate, that was, I don't know, that was pretty, Carnate got to the boxes with eco, so that was really interesting. Just
Yeah.
missed it, probably.
Yeah, Carnate was definitely I wasn't watching completely, but it can be pretty easy to miss if you just make one mistake on that movement.
Yeah, he for sure had the eco well above the threshold, I feel like, but he just missed it. Just barely, probably.
Yeah, but you can see Mike swings the lead back in his favor with some cleaner movement up the tower climb. Mike getting a bad camera on the way down. Does like a 360.
Yeah, the FJ elevator is not really friendly. With your camera sometimes. I'm not 100% sure how that works, but
I've never met anyone who was sure of it. But now,
swag.
looking like no one's dying in Temple unnecessarily. Then next will be coming up is Plant Boss and looking for Quick Bite, which is a specific like form of bite skip where you're able to hit plants after first phase insanely fast, which Mike did not get since he had to wait a little bit to hit him.
Yeah, so in the past, we did a miner's route where you wouldn't really have to worry about orbs as much, really. You'd have like 600 or so orbs by the time, however much it was by the time you got to Snowy. But now Mike has found a route where you can try to sacrifice orbs in time, so you finish with like 240. So the less the orbs you grab, the more time you save, basically.
Yeah, Mike is just the route god, saving everyone time in all categories just because he's a routing genius.
When's the no LTS without Misty? Probably
Yeah,
never.
he tried. He almost got Misty out of the route, which I think a lot of people would have been all for, considering how much trouble Misty causes some people.
Very odd boosted from Mike. Yeah, both runners are doing pretty well for themselves currently, so very decent FJs from the both of them. Pretty sure that was deathless, correct?
Yeah, I think so. I didn't catch any deaths. And they're actually pretty similar in time.
Both getting sub 10 boats, it looks like.
Yeah, they're about 6 seconds off on boat. It's both sub 10, so this is a solid start.
Yeah, sometimes what you really want to aim for. And just let you know that, hey, you're on like this pretty good pace heading to Misty. Although, I mean,
for
it is
sure.
10 minutes in, but...
Sure, anything can happen. There's still at least 45 minutes left.
Exactly. Now, Misty, you got to really do this quickly, or you won't get the cycles, because there's a bunch of different spots you gotta get tight movement to in order to get like a really good cycle. And if you don't get there fast enough, you gotta die, or you're gonna miss it. So
Yeah,
if any,
your movement.
go ahead.
Okay. If your movement in many of these sections will affect the Zeppelin cycle, which you'll see later on. Pretty much, it'll affect different Zeppelins based on where you are in Misty. So for example, the beginning will affect how the first two Zeppelins you hit on the bridge, how close they are together. So if you get really good movement, you could get the first two Zeppelins to pretty much be right on top of each other, which is basically affected by how you deload or load them back in throughout the level.
And missing this roll jump is really costly, because then you'd have to go to death cycle, but we shouldn't see that. But it can happen.
Yeah, it looks like they both hit it. If you saw Stellar's match versus Roser earlier, Stellar missed it, and it loses you a lot of time. I'd say upwards of 30 seconds it can lose you, which is one of the most devastating time losses in this category, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's pretty decent. Actually, use 145 orbs. That's...
Oh yeah, orb count is also big.
And Carnate got the orb event in FJ, so they both had the exact same orbs. I'm pretty sure 148.
The orb vent in FJ?
Yeah, Temple to be exact.
The launch pad?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's missing on a few orbs, but
Yeah,
still
I didn't
good.
notice that. So I didn't notice that, but yeah, Carnate sacrificed a little bit of time for some extra orbs in Temple, which
Pretty smart.
it is. Yeah, it's pretty much up to the runner's choice of how they want to collect their orbs in Hub 1, but the orbs in Hub 1 is pretty tight, since you need to have 240 by the end of Sentinel, so that you could buy both Oracle cells before you leave. And so you really don't want to be missing too many orbs. You want to manage them pretty well throughout Hub 1.
So Mike right now, well, Mike, I'm pretty sure is going to do a good Sentinel route, but it may seem like he's very under-orbed, but when he gets a Sentinel, it'll start to even out. But Carnate's a little bit under-orbed, but he should be good. You want to really aim for like at least 180 some, or 170, like high 170s, by the time you get the power cell.
I'd say Carnate is pretty good, but Mike's a little bit lacking.
Yeah, Carnate's good. Alright, Misty boosted.
Yeah.
That was almost a Legilus. It was pretty good. Sometimes you can do that boosted and it'll send you backwards. It's not fun. Just ricochet off of it.
Misty, they both got fast cycle, and Misty, usually you won't lose or gain too much time as long as you stuck to the cycle that you usually get, because it's all just cycle dependent. But Mike did seem to extend his lead by just a few seconds, since they went from being 6 seconds apart to like probably 10 or more.
Still a pretty good race so far. There's been no really big mistakes, so that's pretty amazing, if you ask me.
Oh yeah, I think they're both playing pretty solidly for a race. I'm sure Mike would have reset like 30 times by now if this was he was going for PB.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, technically he could still PB, but you're gonna have to play the game pretty tight.
Mike got some orbs from a crate. He just got the lurker to blow up a crate for him.
RNG Jesus. Alright, so we're in Citadel, so I mean it's a pretty easy level. Not really anything too hard. I mean, you can mess up the tracks up to the egg, but that's rare. But it can happen.
This level's just auto-scroller, but then birds.
Auto-scroller, then birds. That's pretty good. Yeah, Mike's doing his little route that grabs more orbs and is the same time as the normal route, so.
Yeah, Mike, noticing he's low on orbs, he's doing an alternate route that I've only seen him do, which he claims is the same speed but gets more orbs. Which I find debatable since it adds in a lot of harder movement to Sentinel, which you're more likely to mess up, and which I think would make it slower than the normal route. But he does need orbs, so it's probably a good idea. Pretty safe.
Carnate got perfect birds. No.
Yeah, Carnate had some slow birds. Mike is having some
Mike.
terrible birds. He got trolled.
You absolutely hate to see it. There you go.
Yeah, I actually have no clue what. This is crazy. I have no clue where they are in relation to each other because I don't know how the two routes relate to each other.
I think Mike is still ahead by a couple seconds.
Yeah, he gets some pretty bad birds though, and he messed up the roll jump to Pelican. So I wouldn't even be sure, but maybe yeah. Oh yeah, because he's doing cloggers right now, so he's definitely ahead.
Yeah. So still about 10 seconds or more, probably more. Yeah, a little bit more. Kind of shocked actually at that. I thought Mike would be a little bit more closer in terms to Carnate, but that's not the case, it looks like.
Yeah, Carnate also had some bad birds. That's probably why.
Yeah, this part right here can be sketch on Mike's screen because sometimes the dog can just, I don't know, wreck your day and just push you off, but...
Oh my! I hope
Any wall dogs?
okay. Here's a power cell for your
The moon dogs. Which is funny because sometimes the dogs will jump down in between the cracks, and if you sit there and watch, they'll jump back up like 40 feet. It's pretty funny.
It thinks you're its mama.
Yeah, Carnate looks like he's at just enough orbs, so he'll be fine.
Love at first sight.
Bird Lady is the best NPC.
I'll take
Just
this
kidding.
station back to the village with me and work with the
Yeah,
Sims to
yeah.
take care of her.
Yeah, let's see how much time they got. Oh, Mike. Yeah, Mike definitely ran out of eco because he had some issues with the ledges on that last section.
So Mike's gonna end up with like a 1902, maybe. Actually, no, yeah.
Man, they're gonna have the same amount of orbs too, if Carnate gets all these.
So definitely not terrible hub one so far. Still
Yeah,
a
there's
somewhat tight race.
some rough spots.
Oh, the muse!
Plus, Mike had bad fish on top of
You
it.
really are the best. Here, take this power cell. I won't need it now that I have my inspiration back.
They both got pretty good orbage, so no extra orb grabbing in this department.
Yeah, now Mike's heading out to Oracle. He's gonna pick up these last few orbs on these platforms, these pillars, and then he's gonna have just enough time for the Oracle for both his cells, which is planned out pretty well from him to have pretty much exactly 240 by there.
I have watched and waited
that's really what you want to aim for is 240, but the more the merrier sometimes.
Orbs for each power cell I contain. For your gift, another
Doesn't hurt to
power
go over a
cell
bit.
is yours.
Even though Carnate's playing pretty well, even though he's behind a bit, I think he'll have to definitely play with the same consistency, if not better, if he wants to catch up on Mike. Because Hub 1 looks like cake compared to Hub 2 and probably Hub 3 at that point. Because the levels in Hub 2, especially LPC and Boggy, are just a lot harder, honestly.
Absolutely. Alright, so Hub 1 is basically almost finished. Only got 2 more hubs to go.
Great! You have the 20 cells needed to power
This is
my
definitely the
shield.
easiest,
Now
but
be careful. The shield will only protect your zoomer till it reaches 500
Yeah, it's also hard to see it, but
Try to keep
Mike's
it cool.
probably
Flying over open
gaining
lava will
small bits of
protect
time
you
in
too
between these
fast.
cutscenes too,
Hit
because
500
his
degrees
movement's a
and
lot
it's
more
over.
cleaner when
Like learning both
traveling,
over?
for
The
example,
Fire
up these
Canyon
steps
gets
of
pretty
Fire
hot,
Canyon
so
than
keep a lookout
Carnate's
for
is.
jumps to keep you off the hot ground.
Oh,
Also
did
have
Carnate?
several blue cooling
That's
balloons
weird.
you can
Carnate
use to
got a
drop
trip
the shield's
there.
temperature quickly.
yeah.
Oh, and
I'm
when you
not
get
sure why
across,
that happens. It
don't
happens
forget
to me a lot.
activate the teleport gate in the blue sage
I
trap.
only usually
Then
see it
we'll
when
be able
you
to teleport
have to
over
grab
and
the
meet
Sandover
you.
event.
Good luck.
I think it must have just been his movement to Fire Canyon that was weird.
I mean, his movement to Fire King was pretty slow. You would imagine. I mean, the text loaded in, so he just barely tripped, I'd say. But I'm not too technical or anything like that, so.
It's just probably just RNG, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you don't know, just blame it on RNG.
exactly. I've heard it was camera oriented, but I don't believe that because I mess with it a lot and it still gets tripped.
Yeah, it's RNG oriented, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, Mike. Oh no. No, Mike. Okay, he's good.
He's fine.
He's fine.
Wasn't even close. Mike had the cleanest Fire Canyon, as you expect. Right.
Nice.
Yeah. So the orb count for Hub 1 was pretty tight, which the orb count is also important for just Basin pretty much of Hub 2. We got like Mike's got about 60 orbs coming into Hub 2, and he's got to leave Basin with about 217, I believe.
Yeah.
So he's got to pick up a lot of orbs in Basin, which is why Basin's pretty. This is pretty much the only reason why we go to Basin is because it has a ton of orbs. Talking like 3 times the amount of orbs you get in any other level, but you're only there for half as long, and you're picking up about 3 cells.
Yeah, 3. Scoutfly, over the lake, and then plants.
Yeah, all the other cells were pretty slow.
So Mike has 66, and that's fine. You just can't miss it. You can miss 1 orb, really, that's it. And 68 for Brian's pretty good. You can miss a couple.
Yeah, especially just as long as you don't miss the crates. The crates are the big boys. They got 6 or 10 usually. You definitely don't want to be missing those.
Especially the column ones, because those have 10 in each, but it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to miss those.
It's like the Fire Canyon ones that have 10 in each. They're just free orbs, honestly.
50 free orbs. Mike finishing with the perfect amount of orbs you need. 211 is what you want to aim for after the Cell Lake. So he's good in that department. Carnate's definitely good at orb because he had 68, which is fine.
Yeah, Mike's doing plants, which when you're trying to get a 1 cycle, it's a pretty hard thing to get down when you're first starting, but I wouldn't expect Mike to get anything other than a 1 cycle, which he did. Just Mike being Mike at this point. I love how close Carnate's sticking, though. It'd be really nice. I think Carnate really needs this 1 cycle.
Yeah, I'm excited to see if Carnate will stick around in LPC or Boggy, because usually separation starts in LPC, so...
Oh, definitely.
Beware of the dark light.
That was honestly a weird cycle from Carnate's plants.
Bring me
It must have been his first runaround. Must have been weird.
each power cell I contain.
Oh, Carnate, no.
Power cell.
You got
Yeah.
cut by plants. Oh, no. You hate to see it.
Carnate got bad plant RNG.
Satch.
For your
Yeah, Mike's gonna just expand his lead. The only way Mike's gonna probably fall behind in Hub 2 is if he makes some pretty drastic mistakes, which can happen in LPC. And honestly, some bad water cycles or misjudged water cycles can easily kill you. And right now, Mike's doing movement on these pontoons. With his camera a little bit turned, you want to keep it away from the Blue Sage hut because there is a cutscene bubble that's
Oh, swag.
pretty much surrounding the Blue Sage hut because they partially skipped it earlier by save loading when they pause buffered onto it. It's not hard to avoid, but you just gotta be careful or else you're gonna watch the cutscene and lose 40 seconds. Now Mike's in the boosted room. He just falls off the 1 platform. It's not too bad. He recovered pretty fine.
Fruit's done. Dinner time.
Yeah, that's not me, but it is. It was in my room. I didn't know it was so loud. My bad.
You know it's good. Oh,
Carnate misses the death warp in LPC.
he jumped twice. It's too fast. The inputs are pretty uniform and mechanical in nature. It's just X, X, circle, literally. But you can miss it if you're not
Yeah,
paying.
so Carnate doesn't lose too much time. It's just a few seconds, but then again, Carnate is common theme. It's just him making these small mistakes, and Mike's not making as many mistakes, so he's just gonna bleed time throughout Hub 2 probably.
Yeah, those small mistakes add up tremendously. Especially against a runner like Mike. Unless he makes a mistake. Anything can happen.
Yeah, and then we got piggyback. Mike's gonna just jump on this dude a couple times, get out of bounds, and then just grab himself from nowhere. Pretty flawless from Mike.
Carnate played that really safe because he's on 2 health, and you can't really tell the cycle of the electrifying water. Because sometimes you can go around the corner and see it's green, then it turns to normal, and then it instantly gets you.
Yeah, you can definitely tell Carnate's playing stuff safe. Like, he went a pretty long way around the platforms to avoid Larry. Getting hit by Larry is the least thing he wants to do.
Yeah, Carnate's playing really safe right now, which could either pay off or end up biting him in the butt at the end.
Yeah, it's just gonna be depending on how Mike plays. Mike makes
Right.
mistakes and makes a mistake, and if he gets tilted by his mistakes, he can lose his lead quite a bit.
Yeah, one mistake can lead to another, especially when you're tilted. You just gotta keep calm and composed, really.
Pretty
Mike-
solid though.
Yeah,
Sorry,
his
go ahead.
LPC. His LPC was really solid. I agree. He missed the boosted in the second room, but that's about it.
Yeah, he missed boosted. He recovered pretty well. He extended his lead. His Carnet is playing safe. Carnet had some rougher movement, but Carnet's not making any big mistakes. He's doing pretty fine.
So I'd say Mike's about a good minute ahead at this point.
Yeah.
I also imagine Mike's gonna do some of the new boggy strat thing.
Mike doesn't do fish skip. That's a shame. Not even doing the optimal strats. It's like next year to tell me he's not gonna do lava walk. Like, can you imagine? Lava walk's faster. Just do it.
Yeah, forehead, just do it.
I think
Boggy nowadays is really not that friendly like it was before, because now you gotta do it backwards, missing all of the jack checkpoint skips until you get about halfway through. So if you mess up towards the end, you're Boggy Billy, then you're kind of screwed.
yeah,
It's gonna put you right back to the beginning. And Mike's already taken
Yeah.
2 damage, or 1 damage. Excuse me.
yeah. The oob that he's about to do requires you to take a damage, so he's got to be real careful that he nails this first try.
He's playing it
He
really
does.
safe.
Yeah,
you're
because
gonna-
he's at 1 health now, so he really doesn't want to take damage.
Yeah, if you're going to do it that way, you might as well just roll jumped around, because he didn't save any time there, really.
Yeah, but it's the new oob. You gotta do it. It's cool.
Yeah, it's swag. Found by yours truly, Aslov, I think, correct?
Nah, I was found by Riley. I just yoinked
Oh, Riley.
it. I was like the only one running the LTS at the time, so I just yoinked it.
Yeah, that little strat to get out of bounds, you can do that just basically anywhere where there's the
Yeah.
swamp water.
Yeah, it's not too useful in many spots, but yeah, that's a good use for it. You can also go straight to the tether that Mike's doing right now with that oob, but getting the cell before it that you usually get on flut in boggy is pretty nice. It's a pretty fast cell. Carnet's doing the oob. Oh, he jumps out too early. So he didn't go on the other side of the wall.
Yeah, you
But
gotta let the
he did
camera
have-
pan.
Yeah, he did have enough health to do it again, so he should be fine as long as he gets to this next cell. Not an issue.
Doing these 2 boosteds with 1 health is definitely not the best of tasks.
Oh no. Carnet
Yeah.
made his first big mistake.
In the lead.
You can definitely tell he was nervous on these boosteds. When you got 1 health and you have to do a bunch of boosteds in a row, and you know if you fail it, you die. And it's not a good death either. We're avoiding checkpoints for the first half of boggy, and if you die and avoid all these checkpoints, you're gonna go right to the beginning. You have to go through pretty much half the level again.
We got pretty lucky there.
It's quite unfortunate, honestly. Probably just got some bad boosted RNG.
Yo. Carnate's good, but he's now about maybe 2 minutes behind at this point. Mike heading towards Claw, I doubt he goes for Lava Walk.
He better. No balls. Should be like Josh. Josh went for Lava Walk till he hit it. He might have gotten the 8th try, but he got it. Yo,
Oh, Mike is going for Lava Walk.
Let's
He
go.
must be watching.
Nah, I think he planned it. He probably decided beforehand if he would go for it.
He's watching, he sees Carnate's mistakes, so he can definitely
True.
go for it if he wanted to.
He could
Lava
just
Walk.
watch it from-
It's about a 1 in 5 chance. Nah.
Yeah. He decides to go for deload after missing Lava Walk once. I guess it's fair.
Yeah, you don't really want to get caught in that cycle of repeatedly doing it and not getting it. Might as well go for it at least once. Pain.
Yeah, so Mike right here, he's gonna roll jump on top of this rock, and he most likely will never let go of his X from his roll jump inputs. And so when he keeps X held for 30 seconds, Jak will try and idle, and apparently just holding a face button like X will just deload the map, and it will pretty much deload Boggy and put him in Mountain Pass, which just skips the entire claw fight. There you see, Mike gets it. He pauses because he has to wait for Mountain Pass to load before he dies, and then he'll spawn right behind Claw. I got nervous that he didn't wait long enough and he was going to spawn in Boggy.
Can Mike do tree hops?
He's done them before, but he
He's definitely,
never
yeah.
goes foreman runs or anything.
Definitely not worth it because you can get stuck pretty easily. That's big
Yeah,
time.
I'd be very surprised if he went for tree hops or stalagmite hops, if that matter. Carnate having some trouble with boulder skip. He got stuck inside the cliff and he couldn't jump up. Some very unfortunate cliff RNG.
He does the little 6 strat to get back up there. Good backup. Oh, he. Okay, he's good. Carnate might go for Lava Walk.
And Mike doesn't even go for stalagmite hops or rock hops, or whatever they're called.
Not
Shame.
Not Chad. Very shame.
Yeah.
Chad strat using the rock to gain good advantage.
Yeah, Mike still got, even though Mike went for Lava Walk, he still got a pretty good lead on Carnate. Carnate's just starting deload and Mike's almost done with Mountain Pass. He's just got to get backward cell.
Average backward cell, normally fan. Average rock hop enjoyer.
Yeah, pretty much. There's a couple ways of doing this cell. The easiest but slowest way is the way Mike's doing, where you just travel back on foot through Mountain Pass. And he's gonna do a high jump up this cliff. You gotta like time your spin so that you get the most height. He gets a first try, easy.
Easy money.
Yeah, so hub tooth for both of them, they were pretty good. The only notable mistakes were Carnate missing one cycle, I'd say, and he
Boggy,
he died to Boggy.
which is a very costly mistake. Mike uppercutted too far into the hut. Can't do that. He obviously knows that.
Did he do it again,
Oh,
or was
no.
I just...
He died twice.
Oh, Mike's throwing for content. I see.
Yeah, he's throwing.
No, but I think Carnate was probably on PV pace until his Boggy death.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, Mike was just cold. He needed to warm up.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so Mike's entering Spider Cave. Probably, arguably the hardest level in this route. Arguably.
Oh, yeah, definitely arguably, but I don't
It's
see
got
it.
some. It's got some hard tricks.
I think Snowy is.
Yeah, I could see either or being argued.
It just depends on what you practice a lot. And of course, I practice Spider Cave, so
Yeah, you ever think about practicing Snowy?
yeah, yeah, man, couldn't be me.
Yeah, fun fact: if you don't practice one level at all, it'll be harder.
Facts.
Yeah, so upcoming Mike's doing this boosted. He got blue eco, so he's doing a zoom to make it easier, but he ends up messing up the boosted. So now he'll just do a normal boosted without a zoom. It's pretty tricky because the distance for the boost is quite far. It's one of the farthest boosteds in pretty much any of the routes in the game. But
Yeah, it's definitely.
if you delay your spin, your circle input on the boosted, it'll maximize your distance, allowing you to make it pretty easily.
Yeah, it's definitely the longest boost in the game. I think Misty boosted coming in second by a bit.
Yeah. Misty boosted, you only need to delay your spin if you want. Pretty much hit ledge grabless.
Now, if we're talking about the longest possible boosted in the game, I think that is in Boggy. With platforms. But I'm probably wrong on that. That's the one I know. But...
Yes, the one in Boggy. So we got Carnate. He's red stage skip. No one failed red stage skip. That's good. Failing red stage skip is one of the biggest mistakes you can make. It's not the easiest trick either. It's just everyone, especially if you're a sub 1 runner, you've definitely done red stage skip enough and practiced it enough to be good at it, even though it's quite hard for beginners.
Yeah, it's definitely a console reset if you activate it.
Oh yeah, it's one of the few times where it's faster to reset your console in this game is if you fail the red stage cutscene skip or the top of Citadel cutscene skip. They're both about over 2 minutes long.
Yeah, so this is no LTS. This is basically what any percent kind of looked like, except not really, back in the day. Definitely with lots more route changes. Before Lava Tube Skip was even found.
Yeah, so they're at least both in the same level. So there's a gap, but it's not a terribly huge gap. Like there's a chance Mike could die on Flood and Snow, which is pretty big, or yeah.
That definitely wouldn't make up for it really. Grind's still a couple minutes behind, so Mike's gotta beat down gregariously on some of his movement in order to throw this game.
Yeah, I'm just throwing out some possibilities in the air to jinx Mike, you know.
Commentator curse. Your question was not stupid, okay?
Yeah, we never really explained what this category is. It's pretty much just having to collect the 72 power cells required to get the zoomer on Lava Tube. Do you catch Carnate's robot room? I didn't see if he got the boosted or anything.
I think he did. I was watching Mike.
Yeah, I'll watch one of them, but then when I'm talking, I'm not focusing on what they're doing, then I'll just forget what they just did.
Yeah, that happens. Yeah, but from the way the time's playing right now, I do feel like his robot room was pretty good.
Yeah, I'm just gonna assume his robot room was perfect. Carnate just had a perfect robot room.
Yeah, it's a good move.
Yeah, he's got some tricky platforming with yellow eco because you can't punch or uppercut, which we like to do. You just gotta jump and spin. Now Mike's heading up to Snowy. Definitely another one of the harder levels. A lot of it flut. Sorry, you can go.
Oh, sorry, you're good. Oh, we just need to have a debate on the hardest level, I think. The Jak debate. I'm just kidding. But
I don't think. I think it's always gonna be personal preference or just
yeah,
like personal
definitely.
opinion. I think mastering flut movement is really hard though in Snowy. Like if you're just starting out, honestly, just not dying on flut is pretty much a lot of people's goals of Snowy. And they don't really find like the small time save that you need on flut until you go up to mid to high tier.
Mm-hmm.
Mike just did a trick, a fortress gate skip. Normally you do that on flut in this long platforming section, but he skips that because you can do it with a couple of different ways. You can actually do it. The way he does it is he roll jumps across, high jumps, and uses like the high jump momentum to make it all the way down to the ledge below. It also skips this platforming section with ice, which is one of the worst platforming sections. Oh yeah, he got the little standpoint on the ice.
That is not the easiest way, and he didn't get the 2-frame.
Yeah, there's a 2-frame trick you can do after that vent cutscene. If you do, it'll give you a sort of a rocket uppercut through the ceiling above, through the ice ceiling above, and you'll just save a few seconds. Not the end of the world, but it's definitely cool when you hit it and you get some free time save. Yeah, so Carnate's entering Snowy and Mike's probably just about halfway done with Snowy.
Snowy's about a good 5 minutes of time, so Mike's about 3/5 of the way in.
I mean,
Right,
yeah,
a bit behind.
Yeah, Mike could die on flut. We could see it. Or he'll just do what you do at the end of the runs, fail Green Sage, which apparently is also a Roser, because Roser failed Green Sage today.
Is on a 56 pace in the relay and just forgets how to play Jak and Daxter all of a sudden. Watches the skip.
In Stellar and Roser's game today, Roser was on PB pace. He failed Green Sage skip, reset his console, and still PB'd.
Jeez. That's messed up.
Yeah, Roser's PB was just not reflective of his skill level or potential.
That's for sure. But he did get a 1 of 4 earlier last game.
Yeah. Yeah. So unfortunately, Mike doesn't like throwing for content that much, so he's not dying on flut. Carnate did take a death on his first attempt at Fortress Gate skip, but he got a second try. Dying there is not the worst. It's about 4 or 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I definitely call it a nerve check, though. It's definitely one of those things I tend to fail when I'm nervous more than else.
Mm-hmm.
Mike's doing gondola skip right now. He's taking flut into crater. He'll skip the whole gondola cutscene, and he's gonna use flut to collect orbs and scoutflies in crater, as long as collect Oracle Power Cell cutscenes, which the Power Cell cutscenes are shorter when you're on flut versus on foot. So there's a bunch of time save all around with flut. It's actually one of the best parts about Hub 3 is just flut.
You have obtained another power cell.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I love using flut.
Oh yeah, Flufflet's great.
For your effort, a power cell is the reward.
But as I said earlier, Flufflet can be really hard to master, pretty much.
But when you master them, it becomes really fluid. Looks great.
Yeah, I know Josh would argue that probably his favorite movement in the game is Flufflet.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, it looks like Mike definitely is in the lead by probably close to 3 minutes, I'd say.
That's what I was gonna say. 3 minutes. Yeah, seems about right.
Alright, what do you think Mike's gonna get time-wise?
57
With these additional power cells,
or high
we should be able
56.
to supply the heat shield with enough power to stand up to this lava. But the shield
He's
still
definitely
has
not 55
Yeah.
base, that's for sure. He's-
up to 800 degrees, but no more. So keep an eye on your
I think he's on 56
I don't
base.
want to think about what those temperatures would do
I might
to your
be
zoomer if the shield
completely
goes
wrong.
out. Yeah, the heat. What?
Yeah, I think it's higher 56,
Don't you think we could look for a safer route to Gull Citadel?
like 5650 maybe.
I've released more cooling balloons
Oh, yeah.
into the tube, so you
Carney
can
just
keep the temperature
attempted a deload on Flufflet, where you turn your camera in a certain way while you fall onto a cell in the fortress, and it'll deload, but allowing you to skip the cutscene, similar to the one in Geyser. But unfortunately, he was just off, and he had to watch the cutscene. He's got Ice Island, which can be a
Run
common
killer.
spot to, yeah, common run killer, common spot to kill Flufflet, just because the ice physics and combined with the blockers that are really precise on Flufflet, that you just easily kill your run if you slip up and die. But he got through that no problem. He's doing fine.
Carnate was a bit overwarped there. You can come out of the fortress with like 223, I think is like the minimum. Actually, no, like 220 probably.
Yeah, no, he's overorbed by.
Quite a
He
bit.
could have six. He could have 6 left, 6 less, and still be fine. But it's all good.
Absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's all good.
That's a sketch gun skip if I've ever seen one. Ah, and he barely misses. Hopefully he got volcanic crater checkpoint.
Yeah, I don't know why he, no, he did, yeah, definitely. I don't know why he,
He's
aimed it
just
right.
yeah, he just was a bit too far right, but
Way too far. He could have gotten that, like... The death plane is literally on top of the rocks, like, at the very, like, edge where the rocks start.
yeah, it's hard. The spot he was aiming, the spot they go through into the cave it's not all. It's partially solid, but not all. You can't go through all of it. Mike had some trouble with this cutscene skip at the end of the lava tube. But
Yeah, and he missed the pause buffer, so he double scoped into his little goggles and managed to save some time. Some time he lost or whatever, because that like instantly starts the cut or the pause menu. Okay. Well, Mike's basically guaranteed his own victory.
yeah, Mike can get a 56 if he gets some 1 frames. So I'm ready to see him.
Mike, the one frame god? Question mark.
We'll see. Yeah, Carne had some troubles in Volcanic Crater. But he's making his way to Lava Tube.
Carnate's on about a 101 pace, and Mike's on.
Did you catch that if you got a 1 frame?
No, he didn't.
Sag.
Sag beam. Actually, I think Carnate's on 1 flat. I don't really keep track of the time of this game. I just play, man.
Yeah, the time's important. Just play the game.
Yeah. Mike is quick scoping these purple lurkers.
Mike's 1 for 2 on 1 frames.
Nice and good. Argue.
Mike's 2 for 3. He might get a 56 now.
Yeah, I think he is, yeah. 56-50. Between 56-45 and 56-50. Or more, depending on as you go spawn. GG. Just don't die.
You can't. You gotta stop saying GG's before the light eco, dude.
I mean, let's be real. He's not gonna die.
Just wait for the cutscene and for him to hit it. Then you can say GG's. I mean, most people won't do it, but we've seen a few people die before the light eco, so it can happen.
Anything that can't happen will happen.
I mean, yeah, Mike could die here and then die again after he does boss again, and then Carnate can win.
Roll jumps into the bomb and just dies.
Mike with the 56-50. I didn't see the time, but
56-50.
high 56 is a solid run. I'm
Not bad.
sure he's pretty happy about that performance.
For sure.
Knowing Mike, he's probably be like, I could have been way better.
Yeah, I'm sure it's how all of us are really.
Good thing he didn't do the thing when he raced Vortex. He made like a mistake early on, and then he just clowned around at the end thinking he lost and was just messing around with rockets and stuff. When he could have won, he just gave it up because he thought he already lost.
What was that last year?
Something like that. Oh no, I think Carnage just failed Citadel Skip.
Load, just load. Okay.
Yeah, he loaded.
Good job.
He bonked on the door frame, so it caused him to not get to the death as fast. Which
Get your pause buffer again.
we didn't explain, but Citadel Skip is another cutscene you can skip by pause buffering. Since pause buffering, when you pause buffer, you're immune to cutscenes. So you'll start a pause buffer, you'll go through the door and die, and as long as you die before the pause buffer ends, you'll skip it. And since they're on a specific copy of the game with this checkpoint bug, doing that also spawns them at the top of Citadel, skipping the entire level, which is pretty nice for a speedrun, honestly. Citadel is one of the worst levels to go through, just because of the cycles and dumb stuff in it, obviously. Yeah, all that's left is for Carnate to beat boss and see if he gets any 1 frame, so he goes for him at all. Looks like he's going for him. Missed the first one.
How much time does this save overall? Like 7 seconds? If you get all 3 or more?
I think all 3 is like 8 to 10. I get see being 8, 9, or 10. Because the last one was 4 or 5, and each of the first 2 are 2 or 3, I think.
Wasn't exactly sure.
Yeah, each one's not too big individually, but if getting all of them versus getting none of them is a pretty big time difference. It was actually found, because normally to get a 1 frame you have to delay your jump for a little bit, which is why going for them can lose you time, because you have to stand still for an extra little bit. But found out that going for the last 2 1 frames don't lose you any time, so they're always good to go for. Carnate is the last one. That's pretty cool.
GG's.
Yeah, it looks like Carnet's gonna finish with a 101 something. Not too bad. He's not too far off his PB, honestly.
Yeah, he could have PB'd more than we thought. I think he could have still PB'd without that. Or with, never mind.
Yeah, if he didn't die in Boggy and if he's gone well skip one better, this might have been a PB.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Save the world, but do it quickly before I change my mind.
Alright, just a few seconds.
Don't roll jump into the ball.
Oh, the worst. Oh, shoot. Get the worst spawn, but then the second eco spawn on top of him.
What are the odds?
And we got a 101-11. It's pretty nice.
GG's.
GG's, guys.
Congrats to them both. Carnate played well. Mike gets 1-0.
Yeah, it kind of just went as you expected. Mike played pretty cleanly. He got a really good run in, solid. Carnate also got a solid time, but just the skill gap just really showed. Mike was just gaining time in every level.
Yeah, here shortly we're going to be doing an interview with them both to give them their thoughts and insights on the runs today. Yeah.
Yeah, and then after this match in the interview, do you remember who's playing next?
HS Blue and... Oof. I don't remember.
Maybe TJ? I don't know.
TJ, yeah.
Oh. Hello?
Hello?
Mike, 5650 and Carnate, you got a 101-11. Great view.
Jeez.
Yo, GG's, guys.
GG's.
Bro, like, honestly, I'm happy with the 56. I'll take it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would guess that you're happy with it, but obviously you probably felt like you could have played better. But for a reset list run, honestly, you also went for Lava Walk and failed it, so there's like 30 seconds there.
Yeah.
Very solid performance.
I could have played way better, but considering I haven't played in a week,
oh, really?
It. Yeah,
that's actually pretty good.
I've been busy with work this whole week. I haven't touched the game since Sunday, so
yeah, Carnate.
if
you didn't die in Boggy, you could have PB'd.
Yeah, I realized that, but there's also there's like other stuff that came into factor. What's the claw skip? Boulder skip, right?
Yeah, Boulder skip that too. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
missed
just
that
got
first try, and the Kira, the Citadel Skip.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was pain. I'm glad you loaded that because then we would have been watching a cutscene. And then
I kind of realized it. I was like, okay, I need to.
Yeah, just unlucky. Yeah. Like Boulder skip getting stuck inside the cliff is never fun.
I was stuck in the crouching thing, so I was just like, yep.
Of course, you and Mike both were pretty within 10 seconds of each other until about the end of Misty, and then the separation started to unfold.
Hub one was kind of rough.
Yeah.
My hub one was clean, but then once it got to Boggy, it went downhill from there.
Yeah, you were doing
better fish.
You were doing really well. Yeah. You're keeping within a good distance of Mike until probably Boggy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the death in Boggy when you didn't get a check, when you have no checkpoints, is pretty rough.
Yeah, when you were heading down the slide, Mike was heading up out of LPC, so weren't too terribly far behind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Within a few of Mike mistakes, distance.
Mike mistakes.
Yeah, you didn't have any of those.
Yeah,
so.
what mistakes?
Yeah. Mike double L slurp.
Yeah, you guys played too well. Boring race.
Really?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, now you can leave.
I'll try to get like a 130 next time.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you, Mike.
No problem.
the ultimate troll, wasting the commentators' time, going over the allotted schedule time.
No, it'll be in schedule as long as you start on the hour.
Mike throwing for content.
That's what I do.
Happy.
Alright, well, we got up next.
I think TJ Gamer and HS Blue. Correct me if I'm
Yeah.
wrong. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I saw
something
people
like
playing
that.
twice today. Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, HS Blue and TJ's next.
TJ Gamer.
TJ Gamer.